Everybody, and welcome to another teacher talk session. And tonight we are going to have our 56th session, which is really good number for me and for us also. And tonight, as usual, you know it, like every week, every Monday, let's say, we have a very important educator for the live sessions. And tonight we have another very important and a special person for reality world, and most of you know him very well, and maybe most of you have used his textbooks in your classes, and maybe still you are using his books, and they are really great. Then that including me also. I've been using his books for a long time, and I'm still using it. They are really impressive books. And tonight we have a very good textbook writer and a teacher trainer, İsmail Sezgin. And when he comes, we are going to start our live session with him. I'm really excited for these sessions because I have a very interesting questions for him, and I'm sure that you also wonder what I'm going to ask him. Let me invite him to the session. I have invited him. Now I'm waiting for him to join the live session.
Hocam,
I think yes, there he is. İsmail hocam, hello.
hi, how are you?
It's wonderful. It's great to see you, İsmail hocam. It's
Volkan hocam, wait, I'm not ready. I haven't put up my makeup yet.
no problem. We can wait.
It's difficult, these things. But before we start, I'd like to really congratulate you on this broadcasting teacher talks things. Why? Because since you called me 2 weeks ago, I've been thinking about what to wear. I've been thinking about my hairstyle. I don't know if I should put on my eyeglasses or not. It's really a very difficult thing, and you do it every week.
I try.
Is something tremendous. Maybe you get used to it, but I don't know. Well, as I said before, I've been thinking about lots of things. Which room should I use? Blah, blah, blah, blah. So how are you?
Wonderful. It's wonderful. And you look great as usual, İsmail hocam.
Thank you. I don't know the light, if the light is enough or not.
Yeah, it's everything is great, and it really is great. And you look great,
okay,
and the lights are great. And I think we are ready for you to listen, hocam. And before we start our live sessions, I would like to say thank you, İsmail hocam, to accept my invitation and being my guest for Teacher Talks. This is really great moment for me, and I'm sure that most of our listeners and our guests also, they would like to listen and learn from you, because you have a very important part in our teaching life and also learning life too. I know that I have been using your wonderful books, which we will talk about during the session, and that's really important and wonderful.
It's my pleasure, Volkan hocam, to be here. But I'm a little bit nervous because we're not frequently on broadcasts or in front of all these audiences. In fact, I am a little bit used to being in front of audiences, but this is something different. Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Wonderful, İsmail hocam. If you're ready, we can start, because I know that you are very busy and I don't want to take your time, İsmail hocam. Ready?
I am ready.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Wonderful.
We will have a nice time together.
I'm sure we will, İsmail hocam. And I know you, İsmail hocam, and I know about you, but maybe our listeners and would like to know about you. So can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Of course, teachers like to speak a lot. We like speaking, and when we find the audience, it's my pleasure, of course, to tell about myself. Well, I'm 54 years old, first of all. I was born in 1967 in Karabük. I think everybody knows Karabük because of or thanks to the iron and steel factories. I grew up in Safranbolu. You know, Safranbolu and Karabük, they are united cities, let me say. They are not United States, but united cities. So I grew up in Safranbolu. I graduated from TED Karabük College. I don't want to say college, but private school, because college is something different in America and in England. You know, college means in some way a university, but in Turkey we say TED Karabük College. So I am a graduate of TED Karabük College, then Marmara University, ELT department. Well, I started teaching in 1990, as far as I remember. I'm getting older.
Wow.
So it's been about, 31 years. Yes. English teachers are not good at maths, you know, so
Yeah.
it's difficult to calculate
That's
sometimes.
one of yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been about, 31 years since I started teaching. First, I started teaching at a private school in Istanbul, then moved to, national education system, MEP schools. And for a long time, I taught at Safranbolu Anatolian High School. Meanwhile, I started writing books. We will come back to that part later. And then I moved to Karabük University. And in fact, I don't know if maybe we haven't talked about that. In fact, I got retired a year ago.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
it was my dream.
Yeah, I hope I will
retired
soon. Maybe not soon is not a good word maybe for that. I have lots of years to retire.
Yes. You look really very young, so you have a long way to go. So, what else would you like to know? I don't know.
All right.
Is that enough?
Yeah, of course. If you say that, it's enough. No problem, Ismail Hocam. Whatever you say. Okay, so
Okay.
let me move to my next question. So, which is, what was your favorite moment or experience in your own education that you still remember and can't forget?
Oh, yes. That's a good question. In fact, I have two stories for that, in fact, in my education, or let me say milestones in my life or in my teaching life, the milestones. So I have two stories. When I was a student, second year at Marmara University, of course, this was, I don't remember when. Anyway, in 1987 or 88. So while we were sitting in the canteen, somebody told us that we were going to have a TOEFL exam. But please don't forget, this is 1987, and I left an Anatolian town, 34 years ago, and I said, what is TOEFL? I asked my friend what TOEFL was. He said, TOEFL is an exam. Okay, but what kind of exam? It's an English exam. English exam. Okay, I said. Okay, no problem. I was second year student then, but everybody was taking first year students, second year students, third year students, and fourth year. All the students at university, ELT department, Marmara ELT department, they were all sitting for the exam. Okay, yes, we took the exam. I don't remember 3 weeks later or a month later, our canteen man told me that Leyla Hanım wanted to see me. Leyla Hanım is the, how can I say, she was the linguistic teacher, but she was a dominant teacher. She wasn't the headmaster or the director, but she was a dominant one. And I said, I made something, I made something bad because she knows me and I was a little bit, active. I went into her room and she said, sit down. She asked me to sit down. Okay, you were the third at TOEFL exam, third place among, let me say, 300 students or 400 students, I don't remember. You were the third, and the first and the second were native speakers from Pakistan, from Nigeria, and I was the first in coming from the Turkish education system, whatever it is, and she started to ask me questions, of course, who I was, where I went, as schools, and we got closer, in that term, and she asked me if I would like to work. And I said, I study hard, man. No, she said, I'm asking you if you would like to work here at university.
Oh.
And I said, no, I'm a second-year student. Where will I work? Then she explained, Marmara University had private courses, private English courses for the people around. And they were really very big private courses, usually at the weekend on Saturdays and Sundays. Many people were attending the courses.
Wow.
And I said, okay, what time? And she said, you will work part-time and except Friday and Saturday. During the weekdays, you will work starting from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for 4 hours a day and whole day on Sunday. And I said, great, yes, I'd like to. Why I'm talking about this story? Because this is important in my education. Why? Because there were lots of native speakers at Marmara University, and at the second year of my university, I started to work with them.
Wow,
I was chatting with them in the teachers' room. I was helping them with the worksheets, with the quizzes, with the tests. So what I was doing there was I was preparing worksheets.
Mm-hmm.
I was preparing the tests. I was preparing the quizzes. So I learned how to prepare worksheets, how to prepare tests, how to prepare quizzes, whatever it is. And I had the chance to chat with the native speakers every night almost. And after school, we started to meet my teachers, let me say. We went to cafes, pubs, whatever it is. So I gained the self-confidence that I can speak English. So that was the first story in my education. I mean the milestone in my education. Sorry.
No, that's a wonderful story to listen.
Yes, I was really very, very lucky. And the second story, while I was working at MEP Anatolian High School, I don't know if you have those things, but usually the administration, sends announcements in a file. So teachers have to sign those files that they have read it. I was just going through the papers, if needed, sign them, and then stopped. Only for me, to Ismail Sezgin. Only for me. Allah Allah, I said. Again, did I do something wrong? But says it is formatörlük kursu. I said, what is this formatörlük kursu? I took the paper to our headmaster and I asked him, if he knew what formatör is or what formatörlük kursu is. And he said, İsmail hocam, I don't know what it is, but it is in summer. So go to the course, have fun, enjoy, government pays money. So 2 weeks in Tokat, go and enjoy, he said. Okay, and I applied for that. Then MEP, National Education, accepted. That was, I don't know if you know what is formatör. Do you know formatör? What is formatör?
Yeah, I heard it. I know it's like formateur.
You heard it. That's a French originated word, in fact, but it means teacher trainer. Formateur means teacher trainer. Oh my God. Well, most probably, there was Terasa Doğelli.
Oh, of course.
There was Gülfem Hocam, Gülfem Aslan. Oh my God. There was Laura Woodward. I don't know if you know.
I
Laura
know, of course I know. Wow.
So, the great masters. And we were having lessons from them. Can you imagine this? I mean, if you pay now, for example, I don't know the currency at the moment, but $10,000. So you can't get this chance. That was a great chance for me, and that was the second milestone in my life. So we became, and National Education, they co-worked together with British Council. Laura Woodward was working for British Council. Gülfem Aslan, I think, at that time working for British Council. So they co-worked, and they trained us to be teacher trainers. In fact, that wasn't only the milestone in my education life or teaching life, whatever it's in ELT world. In fact, before that course, I was trying to do something in my classes. For example, I was trying to bring toys into the classrooms. I was trying to do drama in my classrooms, different things. But in fact, there was a village discovered already. And we got them in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. And of course, it depends on you. I mean, how much you want to get, how much you want to learn. But I was eager. I was really hungry for those information. And that was the second milestone. And I thank all to Teresa, Gülfem, Laura, and the others. They were great trainers and a great asset for us.
Wonderful.
That's all.
Great. Thank you very much, Ismail Hocam, for these two wonderful stories that you shared with us. It's really great turning points, especially the second one, that you had the chance to get a session with the precious teacher trainers.
Exactly. I was just sitting in the teacher's room and just wondered what this formateur course and says to İsmail Sezgin, because there were some criteria to apply for the course. So only my criteria for the course was suitable at my school. So the headmaster sent to İsmail Sezgin. So I was really very lucky.
Lucky about it.
By the way, I don't know if we send our greetings to, for example, my old, not old, but former students writing. Do you see them?
Yeah, I see. Müzeyyen, he is the best in Northwest.
Müzeyyen, thank you.
Yeah,
Müzeyyen is an English teacher in Istanbul. Thank you, Müzeyyen. We miss you.
Wonderful. By the way, I would like to just remind our listeners, if you have a question, I sometimes miss them. If you write there in the chat part, if you write them into the question part, we have a chance to see them exactly. So if you have any questions to İsmail Hocam, please write them in the question part so we can read them easily from there. Thank you. And so
Volkan Hocam, there's a question, in fact, from
I saw that one. Bono Hakimova says, tell me what the differences were exams TOEFL in 1987 and now. Are there any differences here?
In fact, the skeleton of the exam is the same. There were no differences, but today, as we all know, TOEFL is computerized. But in those times, we had no computers. I'm a fossilized man, a dinosaur. So I think that's the only difference. And of course, there must be some updates to the TOEFL exams, but it's not really my expertise, in fact. So that's all I know. Bonu Hakimova.
Yeah, I thank you very much for the answer, Ismail Hocam. And can I move to next question?
Yes.
All right. Okay,
like?
so Ismail Hocam, so what is your philosophy of teaching?
Yes. What is my philosophy of teaching?
Yes.
Well, in fact, before I answer your question, I'd like to say, before teaching, in fact, becoming a teacher is important. Well, what do I mean? Teaching profession is special. I always say that there must be a machine like X-ray machine and should see or should check if that person can be a teacher or not. So teaching profession is special, and becoming a teacher is, the personality of the teacher is important. The character is, the personality and the character, they are the same, but they are really very important. What do I mean? Let me tell you another story. Again, while I was teaching at Safranbolu Anatolian High School, again, I was sitting in the teacher's room. That must be a free time, I don't know. One of my colleagues, but not an English teacher, asked me why I was trying too hard to teach the students. And he said that the government pays the same amount of money to both of us. I work too hard, but he doesn't. And he says, we get the same salary. And I said, this is, in fact, before I will answer you the question, the philosophy question, but this is really very important, because when I go into the classroom, I always think that the students are my daughters, my sons, or my son is in the classroom, or my daughter is in the classroom. And, parents always want the best for their children, for their daughters, for their sons. So when you go into the classroom, they are your daughters, they are your sons. So as teachers, please do your best. They are your daughters, they are your sons. So when we come back to the philosophy, of course, I'd like to refer to Professor Dr. Aydan Hocam, Aydan Örsöz. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
She told a quotation, she said a quotation that I frequently use, that quotation too. That's, if a student doesn't like eating what you cook, then cook what that child would like to eat. So that's my philosophy, in fact.
I see.
So I agree with, I agree with Aydan Hocam. By the way, a little parenthesis, in fact, for you, Volkan Hocam, while closing the session, Aydan Hocam, of course, it was a joke, by the way.
No,
Aydan Hocam got upset with you. Why 54 or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Why I am the 55th 54
54th, I
or
think.
54th.
54. In fact, you should have answered like this in Turkish. In Turkish. Az solistler en son çıkar hocam. So you should have been, ready, answered something like that. So kulakları çınlasın Aydan hocam. When we come back to the philosophy, I tried to do different things, especially, the multiple intelligence. There are lots of things on Facebook or Instagram, lots of caricatures, equality about things or exams. There are lots of caricatures, but teachers should consider multiple intelligence. So they should really read it, what multiple intelligence theory is, and they should know very, very well, in fact. So they should prepare different activities for their students. In fact, this goes to classroom management, So when I first started, when I first went to that teacher training course, they, for example, let me tell you, say, Terasa Hoca said classroom management. Oh, I said, we are going to earn money, I think, management, işletme. So we are going to earn money. But that classroom management means, in fact, in this very simplest way, lesson planning. So if you plan your lesson very well, and if you put varieties in your lesson plan, I'm sure you will cook different dishes for the students. And if a student doesn't like meat, for example, then he or she will have vegetables, fruits. So you should plan accordingly. So lesson planning is very important. So that's my teaching profession, to cut it short. I don't know.
No, it's okay.
By the way, I talk a lot. How much time we
no
have?
problem.
I don't know.
Yeah, we have enough time, hocam. No problem. Don't worry about it.
Okay, then
And there are lots of nice writings over there. I can read some of them, but some of them I can't read it. So sorry for them. But you can keep writing, please, so we can read them too.
Yes, I saw lots of things, but I can't read them as well.
Yeah, because it's going really quickly up. Anyways, thank you very much, Ismail Hocam, for your philosophy of teaching, and it was really great to listen another story about it. So, my next question is, as we all know that you have been writing a test books for a long time, and maybe you are still writing to it, but how and when did you decide to write test book?
Well, in fact, believe it or not, it's another story. In fact, there is story in story. Well, we were working again at Safranbolu High School with Ali Türkmen. Ali Türkmen is an English teacher, and we are friends from the high school, Ted Karabük College, and we were working together. Publishers, they visit schools and they promote their books. One day, a publisher from Izmir came and brought us a book. Well, I don't want to sound snob or arrogant, but while we were looking through the book, I said to Ali, of course, only two of us in the room, I said, Ali, I'm not going to say what I said, but I can write this book in a minute, I said. And he said, okay, why don't you write? Write and let us see your books. So I wrote a book. This was the first story. I wrote a book. I brought it to a publisher. In fact, you know that publisher, but I don't want to say the name of the publisher because I worked for that publisher for 12 years.
Okay, as you wish.
Uh-huh. Yes, I brought the book to the owner of the publisher, the boss, and he said, "Okay, hocam, I'm not an English teacher, but we have the academic coordinator here, so I will give your book to the coordinator, and we will give you an answer, or we will call you back." He said, "Okay," I said. 2 weeks later, or a week later, I don't remember. He called me and said, "Hocam, this is an expression in English, you know, while we were studying YDS or KBDS, we always say, we regret to inform you that."
Yeah.
So if this sentence starts, then something bad will come after. Yes, something bad. So we regret to inform you that our coordinator asked you to throw it into a bin. It's garbage. And I said, maybe, because I wasn't a writer. But I asked him, "Okay, sir, no problem, thank you. But I would like to know how much, I mean the money, how much it needs to print this book. And how many books can we print?" He said, of course, this is 12, 14, I don't know, years ago. "Hocam, it's about 4,000 lira, 2,000 books." Okay, I said, "Good. I can give you 4,000 lira for 2,000 books. Here is the money. Would you like to publish it?" He said, "No problem. You give the money. If the book doesn't sell, no problem." So let me, this time I can tell the name of the book, in fact. So Marathon, the story of Marathon started like that.
Yeah, we know the book.
That was a very interesting story, in fact. But later we became friends with that academic coordinator who said that my book was, you know, trash. In fact, she was a great teacher trainer. She was a great English teacher. She was an instructor at a private university in Istanbul. But the problem is that, you know, the theory side of ELT is different. But what the market needs is different. So she didn't know. In fact, as far as I know, she has never studied on LGS exams or, you know, other exams MEP is doing. She didn't know that. But Marathon became a legend, you know, then.
Definitely.
So I started writing like this, and my books, let me say, became a legend. That's all.
Great, wonderful. That Marathon is staying in front of me over there. Now I can see it.
Really?
I have it here. Yeah, Marathon. Yeah, wonderful one.
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
Thank you very much, Ismail Hocam. And my next question is again related with the test books, writing a test book. So, can every teacher write a test book? And is it easy to write a test book? And how long does it take to write a test book?
Well, good.
Hard question, I think.
Yes, very, very difficult. Very difficult. Well, let's start from the can every English teacher write a test book? Why not? Let me say very easily. Of course they can, but writing books is responsibility. Not only in English, in German, in geography, in maths. It's a big responsibility. Why? Why? Because students, when they buy or study your books, the book you have written, they think that everything written in that book is true.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big responsibility.
I see.
If you make a mistake in the book, then can you imagine, let me say 5,000 students or 10,000 students, I don't know, 50,000 students, they will think that whatever is written in that book is true. So it's a big responsibility.
I see.
From that point of view, teachers who would like to write books should take this into consideration. And of course, English is a little bit different from writing literature books. I mean, Turkish literature books, Turkish books, or something like that. Because, again, if you make a mistake, I mean, if you say, instead of good at, if you say good in, so your writing career can finish with that book. So, teachers who wants to, let me say, who would like to write books, they should have a comprehensive knowledge of English.
I see.
So how long does it take to write books? I think you asked.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends on the book you write, in fact. And if you are writing a reference book for the 8th grade, for example, the Word document, only the Word document, I am talking about the Word document, writing the Word document, it might take 2 months or 3 months, but printing the book takes longer. Why longer? Because you put the photos, different things, and you proofread it. You read it again, and so approximately it takes about 5 or 6 months to write a reference book.
Wow.
And of course, it depends on how fast you are. By the way.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Hocam. Thank you about it. It's really nice. And my next question is again related with the writing a textbook. So can you please list 3 considerations that are important when you are writing a textbook? I know that there are lots of important things, but for you, the 3 important things.
Well, yes, there are lots of. In fact, I'd like to again tell a story. 2 months ago, a company called me and they said they had a digital online, you know, LGS, LGS, you know, test bank, they said, and they'd like to update it, and they asked me to write a report on the system or on the questions. Okay, I opened the first screen, and when I looked at the choices, the first choice was, for example, book. The second was wonderful. The third choice was running. The fourth choice was slowly. A noun, an adjective, a verb, and an adverb. All together for, well, the first thing I remember, for example, so if you are writing a question, all the choices should be the same. I mean, if you are asking a verb, then all the choices should be a verb. Run, go, drink, read. So this is the first thing. When I check the books, I usually look at, first of all, I look at those choices. Then the second one, while writing the book, of course, some writers think that if they ask difficult or complicated questions, they think that they are asking good question.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, it's not. Simplicity is the best. So ask what the CFR says that, for example, unit 1, in this unit you are going to learn how to ask the times. So just ask the times. So don't make it a vegetable soup.
I see.
So keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
The second one. I don't know the third. While I'm writing.
But that's okay, no problem. We can just say 2 is enough.
Okay, I don't know the time. Do you? Oh, yes.
No, don't worry. We have time, Ismail hocam. No problem. We can use the time. It's okay. This is a great moment, and it's wonderful to listen to you.
Good. I don't want to bore you. I mean, the audience.
No. We are listening really.
So, by the way, my private driver is online, Saycan.
Yeah, I can see that there are lots of nice comments here.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay,
more questions?
So let me ask you another question, but before that, that's most of actually you also hear this from most of the teachers, that they said that we cannot teach English to our kids, and we don't know what can we do, and we don't know what are the reasons. It's really difficult to teach them something like this. So would you like to say something about this, and do you have any suggestions? Why do they think like this?
Yes, that's our national question, in fact. Hocam, why can't we teach English? But in fact, that question should be more general.
Okay.
What do I mean by more general? I always ask, for example, why we can't teach maths, why we can't teach science, why we can't teach Turkish. Really, we can't teach Turkish, in my opinion, for example. But this is something different. But I have an idea, in fact, about a different idea about this, why we can't teach English. And I say, do we have to? What do I mean? Do we have to teach English? Well, if you have to do something, for example, if somebody forces me to do something, I usually resist. Resistance. So why do we have to teach them? Let them, I always say that English should be taught at primary school and secondary school. Maybe at high school, 9th grade. Obligatory or mandatory. But starting from 9th grade, it should be, students should have the chance to choose. Optional. It should be optional. They should ask us to teach them English. So we always push them. We force them, learn this, learn. I'm trying to teach you. So why? So it must be optional, and volunteer students, they should come voluntarily to the lessons. They should choose it. As I said at the very beginning, we can't teach math, we can't teach geography, whatever it is. So maybe something can change them.
Yeah.
So this is my idea about that.
I see it. Thank you very much, İsmail hocam, for your nice suggestion about it.
Yes,
Maybe
one of our teachers said, yes, it should be elective. Yes, exactly.
elective,
It should
exactly.
be optional elective. And
So
we can have ready students, I mean, in our classes who wants to learn English, maybe.
And eager, as they say, Müzeyyen hocam says, they will be eager, to learn.
Yes,
They
exactly.
want to learn it. I see. Thank you very much, İsmail hocam, about it.
You're
So,
welcome.
and I think maybe you just mentioned this, but I would like to ask again: can students learn a language without being taught grammar?
Of course, they can learn. You know, the science says so. The experts say that everybody can learn a language, and of course, just take ourselves as an example. For example, we speak Turkish, but we haven't learned grammar or other things, punctuation, while we are learning Turkish. So of course they can learn. If you ask, is grammar too kaka? No, it's not. It's not. In fact, it's the cement. I mean, you know, the concrete between two bricks.
Yes.
So grammar, in my opinion, is necessary. But as long as you know how to teach English, you will see that you don't necessarily have to teach grammar. So in this term, in fact, here we need teacher training, and we need how to, you know, how to teach English with those different techniques. And then we will, or you will see that, in fact, we don't need grammar, but grammar is the concrete between two bricks.
I see.
So grammar is not two kaka, but it's the concrete between two bricks, as I said before.
I see. Thank you, İsmail hocam. And there are really lots of people there saying hi to you, by the way. Hi, İsmail hocam. It's great to see you. It's nice to see you. It's great to listen to you. They're saying that. Thank you very much about them. And so my next question is again related with this like grammar teaching or the speaking. Like, which one is important for you? Accuracy or fluency?
Well, can I say neither?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Do I have that choice?
Of course.
Well, I always say that as long as you keep the conversation going on, as long as you transfer your ideas to the people, accuracy, fluency, pronunciation, they are not that important. They are not that important. Of course, they are important.
I see.
Because you need them to transfer your ideas or to keep the communication going on, the conversation going on. You need them. But as long as you make yourself clear and you can transfer the ideas, the people listening to you or whatever it is, so no problem. I mean, accuracy, fluency. Of course, accuracy is important. Of course, pronunciation is important. I don't know if you know that story. Maybe you know. Long time ago, I'm talking about pronunciation, by the way. One of our very important person's wife, let me say, I'm thinking because I don't want to make a mistake, opening a museum in England about, you know, Kanuni Sultan Süleyman. Do you know that story?
No, I don't know. This is the first time.
Oh my God. That's a legend story. Well, again, let me tell a very important person's wife, let me say, first lady 20 years ago, 30 years ago, opening a museum or an exhibition, let me say, about Kanuni Sultan Süleyman. So Kanuni means, you know, lawmaker in English. And unfortunately, she said lovemaker.
Yeah, wonderful.
So accuracy, fluency, pronunciation. So they are all, they should be all in the pot.
I
So
see.
they are all important, and but not that important in my opinion.
I see, Ismail Hocam. Thank you. That's really wonderful story about it. This is, I
Yeah.
think, first time that I heard the story about that Kanuni.
That's a very I don't
Or
know.
maybe I heard it and I forgot. I don't know. Something
It
like this.
was a long time ago, 30 years ago or something.
I
It's
see.
not
Thank you.
that
Thank you,
trend
Ismail.
now. Mhm.
All right. And my other question is, let's move to another
Do you still have questions? You still have questions, Volkan Hocam? You asked too
Yeah,
many.
I have.
Let me make this. This is not an advertisement, by the way. Let
No
me put up
problem.
my makeup. Okay, yes,
You
I'm
can.
listening to you. I
No,
am
you
listening
can.
to
Okay.
you.
Thank you, İsmail Hocam. Hocam, if you could, this is another point, and I really wonder what are you going to say about it. If you could have one superpower to use in the classroom, what would it be, and how would it help?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, superpower.
Yes.
Superpower. In the classroom, what would it be? What would it be? Well, in fact, I don't know if this will be an answer to your question, but I have always wondered. Well, let me come back first of all. In my area, in Safranbolu, in Karabük, they say that İsmail Hoca is a good Hoca. Okay, he is a phenomenon, something like that. They always say this, and I always wonder why they call me like that. İsmail Hoca is a good Hoca. By the way, good has got another meaning. But this is in terms of good thing. I mean, it's not something bad. But İsmail Hoca is a wonderful Hoca. But I've always wondered, and why they call me like this. And I've always wondered again. Okay, I start a lesson. Goes 35 minutes or 40 minutes. I usually stop at the 35th minute. I usually at 5 minutes we chat usually with my students. So 35 minutes I try to teach, and I've always wanted to see their brain, how much they have taken in it.
Yeah.
So if I had a superpower like X-ray, eye beams, something like that, Saycan learned 65%. Ismail learned 92%. So that would be great, I think.
I see.
And it would be helpful.
Definitely, yeah, it's great. The nice superpower, Hocam. It's really nice.
Yes, X-rays.
And what about, I would like to talk about another point, which is assessment. And would you like to say something about assessment? Because assessment also is another point in language teaching and learning. Yes.
Yes. Of course. I'd like to. Not only in ELT field, in fact, in other fields, in Turkish, in maths, in geography. In fact, the assessment system, in my opinion, of course, should be changed at schools. Of course, you should have written tests. I mean, exams maybe. But the percentage of those exams can be, must be changed, and instead of those written exams, there should be other assessment types, testing types. For example, portfolios.
I see.
But this time, well, we have that system at our schools. They give, homework or term work, but usually parents do. But this must be something different, in fact, and we should have varieties of evaluation, varieties of assessments. Why am I talking like this? While I was working at university, one of my best students in the classroom, I think he was from Iraq, I don't remember, fluent English, accuracy is okay, he always speaks, very active in the classroom, pair works, group works. His English is perfect. But when we had the midterm, I mean the written exam, he got, I don't remember now, but about between 20 or 30, 23. And I said, I don't remember the name, but Abdullah, what happened? Were you ill or something like that? No, hocam, I'm not good at writing. I'm not good at grammar. I'm not good at, especially the punctuation. They have different alphabets, Arab alphabets or something like that. So then I thought that, we should have varieties of assessments, not only the written exams, but we should have, for example, classroom participation. So there should be some part of that assessment, and I can give him 10% from classroom participation, 10% or 20% from portfolio, or take, shooting videos, different things. They can do lots of things. So we should have varieties of evaluation, in my opinion. So not only the written thing. That's all.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ismail Hocam. Thank you.
I'm very sharp.
No problem. That's great. Thank you for your nice suggestion and useful tips about it. Only 2 or 3 questions left. Don't worry. I want to make it longer. Just only 2 or 3 questions.
More questions. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I have lots of questions. And so my next question is about new teachers. So let's say that a new teacher comes to you and asks, Ismail Hocam, what advice would you give to me? And what is the best way for me to keep growing as a teacher?
Well, at the very beginning of this session, I'm not going to talk about that again, but at the very beginning of this session, I talked about we have our daughters, our sons in the classroom, you remember? So they should always keep it in mind. This is the first thing. And in terms of ELT or professional development, I advise them to go to the seminars, to watch seminars nowadays. I mean, for a year since the pandemic started, we have lots of seminars, webinars, sessions online. So that's a huge resources. In my time, we didn't have those. In my time, there was no internet.
Wonderful.
There was no internet. So that's a huge resource, and internet is a huge resource. YouTube is a huge resource, and they should read, watch, attend, and they should also observe what good teachers are doing.
I see.
So observation is also very important. For example, when I was working at Anatolian High School, I had young friends in Safranbolu, and I always asked them to come and visit my classes. I mean, they are English teachers, but if they had free time, come and observe me, come and visit me, observe what I am doing.
I see.
So observation is also another thing. In fact, this is a field that we can talk hours on it, but I think this is enough. This is enough.
Okay, as you wish, Ismail Hocam. Thank you very much. And Ismail Hocam, I'm sure that you know lots of very useful websites that you use for your books or for your teaching or whatever. So can you suggest your favorite 3 websites that you use for teaching?
In fact, I use, do you know that Oxford University Press Teachers Club?
Yeah.
So I usually use that. I mean, there are lots of resources starting from kindergarten to adults, and some other different areas from IELTS to nursing, piloting, other things. So, and it's free, by the way. It's free.
Yes.
You just need an email and a password that you write there. That's Oxford University Press Teachers Club is really a great teachers club. Well, you know, I like Kahoot.
Yeah.
I like it. I used to use it in my classes a lot, and I think there was another one, quizzes.com or something like that.
Yeah, that's also wonderful.
These are the 3 websites that I just quickly remembered.
I see.
But
Thank you.
Oxford Teachers Club is a great resource, in fact.
Thank you very much, Ismail Hocam. And the final question. Ready for it?
Final question.
Yes.
Oh, it's already 10:05.
Yeah. I think you are ready. And the most difficult question, Ismail Hocam. I hope you have an answer for that one, but I'm sure you have a wonderful answer.
Hocam, everything went smooth. Everything went very well. Please don't ask that question. I don't know what it is.
No, it's really actually easy. And here is the question. What is your motto, Ismail Hocam?
What is my motto? Oh, yeah. What is my motto? Well, are you asking this in ELT field or for the life in general?
You can give an answer for both, for ELT and for general, if you want.
You know, in ELT and in general life, in fact, this is not my motto. This is the European blah, blah, blah association's motto, you know, lifelong learning.
Yeah.
So I always say, never say I'm done or I've learned. Never say it.
I see.
So this is a lifelong process, and I got retired and I'm still learning. I'm still learning, you know. So never say I'm done. And for the life, it's a general one. This is my father's motto, in fact. Never get upset or sad for the things which can you reverse by money.
I see. Wow.
For example, you had a car accident you are alive, no problem. You can buy the car in 2 years' time, in 2 months' time. It's not problem. But if you lose your hand, then you can't reverse it using your money.
I see.
By the
That's a
way,
very
my private driver says, I love you so much, my ideal teacher, Saycan Hoca.
yeah.
I call him my private driver, but in fact, he's an instructor at university.
Oh.
Yes. But whenever I need to go somewhere quickly, for example, from Karabük to Antalya, so he drives me there.
Wonderful.
I don't drive the car. So
I see.
that's why I call him. I love you, Saycan Hoca.
Wonderful. Yeah, we love you too, Saycan Hoca, that you help İsmail Hoca always. Thank you. All right then. Okay, İsmail Hocam, thank you very much for that nice mottos for us you shared. And so actually that's all for our teacher talks. But before we end ending our sessions, would you like to add more to the end?
Well, again, I'm stuck to that point. What point? Teaching profession is special. So if you want to be a teacher, if you want to earn your life by doing this profession, so please keep in mind that you have daughters and sons in your classes. Behave accordingly and do your best, please. And I think this will be the last word. And thank you for everybody joining us, listening to us, and for their comments. Can we read those comments later, Volkan?
Unfortunately, no, because IGTV doesn't let us to read that. So yeah, sorry about that. But maybe if they had a photo, if they have taken a photo while we are talking, maybe they can send the photos to you or to me so that I can share with you.
Okay. So I also would like to thank you for inviting me to your program. And as I said, this is really very difficult thing. I've been, it's a huge thing. In fact, you say it's an hour, but it's not. The background is, those things. So thank you for inviting me. Maybe we can see somewhere or meet again.
I see. And also I would like to just remind that during our live sessions, sometimes you would like to join the sessions, but I'm sorry that I can't accept your joining invitations because the live sessions, that belongs to our tonight's guest. So that's why. But you can write all your comments and questions into the chat box. And please don't understand me wrong.
Can we watch this session later?
Of course,
Is it recorded?
Of course. Yeah, it's recorded. Good. You can.
I am an old man. I am not that digital.
Yeah, you can, İsmail Hocam.
By the way, Derya.
Yes.
By the way, Derya Hocam, I thank you. Müzeyyen, we love you too. Take care. They are writing.
Yeah. Of course, İsmail Hocam.
Oh, and Beril is my daughter. Thank you. Fatih, you are the best. Yes, thank you. Volkan Hocam, in fact, well, I just remembered you said you asked me if I had motto.
I see. Yeah, I asked.
My students had a motto for me. So they said, İsmail Sezgin is the best, the rest. Leave the rest.
I see. I got it. Yeah, I got it. I got it. That's a wonderful motto.
But by the way, my son is online, and I don't know if you know, my son is an English instructor too at a university in Istanbul.
Wow.
Ozan Sezgin, yes.
Wonderful.
So thank you to all who watched us, who joined us. Maybe Sami. he is the best in the Northwest. Yes, that was my motto. Thank you,
He's the
Sami.
best in the Northwest. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
I just read it because I saw that motto many
Mhm.
times during the session. They
Yes,
wrote
yes,
it.
yes.
He's the best
He
in
is the best
Northwest.
in the Northwest. You know, Karabük and Safranbolu is in the Northwest. So thank you for all, for my
I see.
students, everybody.
Wonderful. Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
And thank you very much, Ismail Hocam. I would like to say one more time to thank you to accept and join our live session tonight. That was a real pleasure, and it was a great honor to have you in Teacher Talks. And we had a wonderful sessions. It was amazing. Your ideas, your suggestions, and whatever you said, we listened them carefully and with patiently. And that was really, I still can't believe that we have this conversation because as I told you before that we have used actually we are still using your books in our classes and we love them. We grow up with them, I think. So it's a really great to have this conversation, and thank you very much that you give this chance to us to have listened to you here in Teacher Talk, Ismail Hocam. And also
It's
I
my
would
pleasure.
and I also like to thank you to all our listeners that you were here with us and you had the chance to listen Ismail Hocam tonight. That we are the luckiest one that we have this chance. And thank you very much. And we will see each other next week on the same day at the same time. And as you know that on Monday at 9 o'clock we are going to be here again with different educators tonight. As I said, Ismail Sezgin Hocam was with us. Thank you very much, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And take care of yourselves. And of course, you too, Ismail Hocam. And see you till next time. And peace, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. We love
Bye.
you.
Yeah.